On my last Nintendo Switch video, I talked about 15 games you should play on your Switch, and I thank you for all your comments and support. It was very lovely to see. But today I'm talking about 12 games I want to be able to play on my Switch. Now, of course, that means I'm probably going to tailor this list to things I want to play. You'll kind of see my taste come through, but also I think some of these will make sense financially for Nintendo. But this is my list. Maybe you'll have a better one. But here they are. Let's do this. Let's start off easy with the crime of why was this game excluded from 3D Mario All-Stars? And that is Super Mario Galaxy 2. Now, I sit on the fence where I find Super Mario Galaxy 1 the superior game. For just a couple of reasons, and that's because I like the hub world better in 1, and I like the story bits we get from Rosalina. Now, number 2, we got Yoshi. And I am a big fan of Yoshi, and I want my Yoshi on the Nintendo Switch. Super Mario Galaxy plays so well on the 3D All-Stars version of the game. Using the Pro Controller to use as the motion sensor works really, really well, which makes me kind of excited for other options that we could bring to the Switch. And people love Super Mario Galaxy 2. Some people love it better than the first. And I just want more Mario on my Nintendo Switch. Is that much to ask for? Let's get it. Come on. Bring it over. Bundle it with 3D Land from the 3DS. Go for it. Sticking with the theme of the green, let's talk about Yoshi's Woolly World. Now, I've played the version on the Nintendo 3DS, Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World. I don't know if that would translate so well to the Nintendo Switch. I mean, it could. But Yoshi's Woolly World looks excellent. And I love this game. Especially the little animated shorts that they do. They are so cute, so adorable. And this game is what I want in a Yoshi game. It's carefree, it's lax, and the level design I feel like is very, very well done. Compared to Crafted World, which I haven't totally finished, I'm pretty far in it, I feel like we took a step back from this. This art style is great. It's just a really fun game. If you've never given the 3DS version a shot, I highly, highly recommend it. I spent almost 11 hours with this game. And I would play it again. I definitely would. On my Nintendo Switch. Give us the green. If there's one game I will never stop bringing up, we're talking about the GameCube era, and that is Custom Robo, the unsung hero of the GameCube. I did a whole podcast review with my older brother Larry on that. You should go check it out. The link will be down below. This game would be perfect in today's landscape. Highly customizable, quick multiplayer matches. That just like sells itself. Come on, Nintendo, bring it back. This is an arena-based game. You can play up to 4 players. The storyline is kind of goofy, kind of tropey, but it does have a twist in that storyline, and I did not see coming. Has some fantastic little anime art for the character profiles. Their reactions are great. And it definitely has this nice, calming music, too, on top of some great high-energy music that you're listening to in the background. But just look at that the battle system you're seeing. It's fun, it's chaotic, it's mainly one-on-one fights, but then you add some even craziness with the 2-on-2 and it changes it dramatically. I think it's absolutely worth your time. I might be cheating with this one. I'm technically putting 2 games on, Golden Sun and Golden Sun The Lost Age. Would I love a remake of these games? Absolutely, but I will take a port, a bundle, give it to me. I personally think the graphic style, even though it kind of has this blurry effect in battles, I still think it looks gorgeous. And the concept of going around and collecting these djinns, think of like summons from a Final Fantasy game, that actually affect your classes, and you can just swap between Djinns to your 4 party members. And the higher level you get, you can do these awesome, crazy summons that do a bunch of damage. And it just seems so at home for Nintendo. You're collecting a monster-like creature to add to your party. It has this kind of carefree nature to it. I mean, obviously, the world's in trouble. You know, it's a JRPG, so bad things are happening. But it just has this nice style to it, this casualness to it. And I like that you can use the Djinn's powers to manipulate the world around you, kind of solve these puzzles. The only thing I don't like is I think the encounter rate is a little too high for me. Hence why I've never finished it. Granted, there is an item in the game that does bring the encounter rate down, which is nice. I do plan on getting back to this game sometime, but I feel like this is ripe for a comeback. So, give me remakes, give me ports, I don't care. Let me play it on my Nintendo Switch, please. So in my eyes, this is like the perfect Switch port. I wanted to play this with friends, but knowing I have to grab all these link cables, a bunch of Game Boy Advances, just to play multiplayer, yeah. Get me this Zelda game on the Nintendo Switch, and I bet you I will have a ball with my friends. Either online or couch co-op, the Switch Joy-Cons are perfect for that. You have 4 controllers if you have just 2 Switches, and that's basically your Game Boy Advance controller right there. So this might not be the Zelda game you would think you'd want to have on the Switch. It's not Twilight Princess or Wind Waker or yada yada yada. But this is the winner. I am not a Wario guy. I'm not a WarioWare. But this game I think is pretty fun. And I think it would be wonderful on the Switch. You got a greedy man thrust into a different world that he doesn't want to be in, and you gotta beat up a bunch of creatures to get his treasure. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's got a unique art style. And I'm all for 3D platformers getting a little bit more love. And Nintendo Switch, I mean, that's where you want to play it. Well, at least I do, for the most part. I do love my GameCube, though. Such a fun little box. Dear golly, do I love this game. And one of the reasons I want this game to come to the Nintendo Switch is so my elder brother Larry will give it a fair shot. I mean, a lot of times he'll come over and play games with me on the podcast for a little bit. But I want him to experience the glory that is Metroid Prime. Now, will we get a port? Will we get a remaster of number 1? Will we get a port of the Metroid Prime trilogy? I don't know. This is a game I thought about when I was talking about Super Mario Galaxy 2, where could you do Metroid Prime 3 well enough with the Pro Controller and the motion control capabilities of the Nintendo Switch? I'm not 100% sure, but I would be okay just getting Metroid Prime 1. Do I want all 3? Absolutely. The Metroid series has never been a huge Nintendo IP seller. Metroid Dread seems like it did pretty good in sales-wise, and that could be the Nintendo Switch effect. I think Metroid Prime would do excellent. But more importantly, I just want to revisit this game again. Yes, I can pop this into my GameCube whenever I please. But it would be nice to have this on the go and get more people to have eyes on it. Because honestly, this game still holds up. I beat it for the first time in 2017, and it was probably one of the best games I played that year. And if you remember 2017, that was a absolutely insane year for video games. So highly, highly recommend Metroid Prime, and Nintendo, please give it to us. We're ready. Skies of Arcadia Legends screams adventure. And that's the feeling I want to have when I turn on my Nintendo Switch, whether I'm playing in handheld or docked. And this game is a perfect fit. 1, it's a standalone title. Gotta love that. Pirate themed with an awesome turn-based combat. There's some big ship battles too. There's a lot to love in this game, and the sense of adventure is very strong with this one. I haven't even made it to the end, and I'm still saying it's worth your time. And I'd like to play it again. And unfortunately, a lot of the RPGs on the GameCube have skyrocketed, which is never fun for people. I mean, I get it. Emulation's out there, but I'd like to be able to play this on the modern console. Portable, that would be excellent. And this game just has that good feeling. You know, that adventure spirit. And who doesn't want that in 2023? Or 24. Whenever you want to give it to me, I'm okay. Let's stick in the RPGs for just a little while longer. In my last Nintendo Switch episode, I said you should play Shadows of Adam because one of its strong suits is humor. And the Mario and Luigi series definitely have humor on lockdown, especially the Paper Mario series. And this is kind of that in-between, you know? The Italian gibberish that Mario and Luigi talk to each other with is just... it's so good. I don't care if this is the 3DS port or the original GBA version, which is the one I have. And honestly, this might be the least likely port on this list. And you might be thinking, why? Well, his company went out of business for porting and slightly remaking these 3 games in the series. Well, there's 4, but they only made 3. And they went out of business. So that's not a good sign for Nintendo to be like, oh, yeah, this prints money. Maybe it doesn't. Even if it's a Mario and Luigi game. But I think this would be great on the Switch. Whether you hate it or like it, battles keep you engaged by having button prompts to press to do either more damage or to take less damage. And this does have that mechanic that is from Golden Sun, which I talked about earlier. And that is you use moves to traverse the world around it. Kind of in a puzzle-like manner. And it's a pretty competent RPG with a 2-person battle system, which, you know, can be hit or miss. But I like that we have a different villain in here. The graphics are nice and colorful. It's not overly too long for a JRPG, which is always a bonus for some people. And again, I want more Mario on the Switch. I know there's a lot of Mario already, but I can keep having more. And what do you know? It's another Mario game. Now, I do think this, out of all the games in the Paper Mario universe, we'll call it, this is probably the most underrated, in my opinion. I also think it's one of the more unique games. Yeah, they stripped away most of the RPG elements of it. But my gosh, this is a funny game. Oh my gosh. And I just love the idea of flipping from a 2D side-scroller to 3D almost anywhere. And that simple mechanic sold me on this game. I really enjoyed it. I didn't even finish it because when I was a kid, I just didn't finish a lot of things. Teenager, going into adulthood. But I thoroughly enjoyed my time with this. I do plan on picking it up again someday, but heck, why don't I pick it up on the Switch? I know a lot of you are thinking it should be a 1,000-year door. And yeah, maybe it should. But I find this to be the more unique Paper Mario game, and I want it on my Switch so we can all enjoy and laugh at the humor in this game.
A long, long time ago it was, before people began to dwell in the sky.
Baten Kaitos Eternal Wings and the Lost Ocean has a really cool title, for one, and is one of the best RPGs on the GameCube. And maybe one of the better RPGs out there. Absolutely gorgeous pre-rendered backgrounds. They're so vibrant and colorful. Some of the areas in this game, oh my gosh, they're excellent. The back of the case says, it's possibly the most beautiful GameCube title ever made. That's from Nintendo Power. Obviously, they're going to be biased. There was Nintendo Power, but still. Now, I do remember the voice acting not being great, but, you know, sometimes I can get past that. And how I can get past that is, one, the world setting is freaking sweet. And it's beautiful to look at. But most of all, the battle system. This battle system is a turn-based card game. I know a lot of people are going to just be like, nope, I'm done. Cards, no. But it's excellent because it's so unique, especially for the time. You get to customize your cards, which means you get to customize your attacks, and you have to kind of think, well, what type am I going to need more support, or am I going to need more defense for the upcoming battles? And it's just, oh, it's a match made in heaven. I'm surprised that more games don't do this. And you know, it came from Monolith Soft. So you recognize that name. I know you do now. Like Custom Robo before, this is a game I will never stop praising from the Nintendo GameCube library. There's also a prequel, which I own. It's on my shelf. Never played. Hopefully that's good, and maybe I'll get around to it. I am at the very last dungeon in this game. My goal is to beat it this year. I remember it having the craziest twist. I was, younger me was like, oh my gosh. But before I wanted to go to the last dungeon, I wanted to, go get the last gear, the ultimate gear for my people, which I don't always do. But that's the sign of a good game. And, time got away from me. But I do think this one's worth your time. And before we get to the final game, maybe hit that like button. Maybe share this with a friend. Because maybe that'll get more eyes on it. And then Nintendo will bring most of these games to the Switch. I'd appreciate it. Yep, we are doing a double Monolith Soft dip. The Switch is no stranger to the Xenoblade Chronicles series. We have technically 4 games on there. I count Torna as its own game. This makes so much sense for Nintendo to port this over. This is your moneymaker. For a JRPG trilogy, Xenoblade Chronicles sold really well. This is the perfect choice. Plus, it was just a generation ago on the Wii U. And knowing if you're hearing about this game now and you haven't taken the plunge, there is a big patch you need to download on the Wii U to make the game run a lot better. So instead of having to worry about all that, making sure you have that patch downloaded, let's just get it on the Switch. I played a lot of Xenoblade Chronicles last year, and I am totally ready to play another one. Do I want to bust out my Wii U and play this? Yeah, in between. I definitely am going to get around to this game, but this seems like the perfect answer for the port from the Wii U. We've got most of them, right? So let's finish strong, give us Xenoblade Chronicles X, and let's be happy in celebration of a bunch of amazing JRPGs on the Switch. From what I've heard, it doesn't have the best story, of course, but it's more focused on gameplay and exploration. And Monolith Soft, they do those things right, especially the exploring part.
Attention, external access confirmed. Disengaging.
So you made it to the end of the list. There's all the games in all their glory. It might be a bit of time before another Nintendo Switch video, but until then, spend your time doing what you love.